From WCRS Studios in Greenwood, South Carolina, this is Meet Me at the Diner with your host, Ann Eller.
Oh, that's right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, I'm Ann Eller, and yes, we are live on Facebook, and yes, we are live on the radio, and yes, we are streaming at WCRS 1450am.net. So you can catch us anyway. There's absolutely, positively no excuse not to catch us here today. And I had a double header here this afternoon. Earlier this afternoon, we were speaking with Representative Sherry Biggs. Now we're here for the fun part. We're here for music and all the good things that come with music. Local Focal is here. We have Nick Massey and Granger Smith are here, and we are going to be talking about what else is going on with the Festival of Discovery and Blues Cruise. So how are y'all doing this afternoon?
What's
Fantastic.
up, Ann?
How are you and Penny?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep, what's
we're
up, Penny?
Good.
Yeah, she's decided that there's no part for her in this, so she's just going to relax. So, Granger, this is what, third year?
Third year, yes, ma'am.
My, how time flies.
How it flies, indeed. And feels like we've been doing it even longer.
I bet it does. But I bet it gets easier. You know, well, after the first year, I'm sure it gets a little easier for as far as organization.
I guess so. We kind of we format similarly from year to year, but we do throw in a lot of change-ups, little wrenches in our own little formula, our own little equations that we have conjured up over the years. But yeah, definitely it's still challenging, but it's become kind of we have more cruise control moments.
More cruise control moments. So how did Local Focal come about?
Nick, you want to take that, or you want?
Yeah, basically
Nick Massey
out of
here
necessity.
speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, basically out of necessity. Ashby Stokes had tried for a long time to get something local to happen, and he had to kind of beg for it for years, and then we got a little something, thankfully, but it was outside, and it was just, there was no budget for it, and you know, like I said, it was outside, so it was brutal, and not a lot of people wanted to sign up to do it. And then luckily, like, Granger and I were coming along, we were like, we got to figure out something else besides outside in the blazing heat all day, and you know, almost having heat strokes every year. Luckily, Howard Corley stepped in, and Granger had a vision to call this thing Local Focal, because we've had kind of a couple of iterations of it years previous to our third year now. But Granger had the vision to call it something and stick with that format and highlight what this town has to offer, the best of. And it's great to see it just blossom like it has been. And, you know, like I said earlier, we were in the heat and had no budget, and now we have air conditioning, and thanks to sponsors like you, we actually are able to pay the local musicians who deserve every bit to be heard. You know, it's like we always say, the Festival of Discovery, the definition is what your town has to offer. So it's fantastic that we're able to have sponsors help us achieve this goal and dream of ours.
So it was entrepreneurship that brought this together.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Absolutely.
right. I mean, you know, that's taking a situation and saying we can do it.
Why
Yes,
not
ma'am.
us?
Yes, that's right. Well, I think that is great. So, for those that don't know what Local Focal is during the Festival of Discovery and Blues Cruise, when does it happen? Where is it happening?
It happens Thursday, July 9th through Saturday, July the 11th, kicking off at 6 p.m. on Thursday. It's pretty much, all day Saturday, mid-evening, I'd say 4 p.m., to 11, to whenever the last band gets over with. So it's just, it's at Howard's on Main, right in the epicenter of everything happening. Upstairs
Yeah,
at Howard's
stock
on Main, the stock room. Yeah, just 3-day music fest right there in the center.
What are the hours on Friday?
Friday's from 4 to probably about 11:15, 11:30.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Saturday it kicks off at
12 noon.
12 noon.
We're actually going to start off not with music this year on Saturday.
Yep.
Oh my God, that just destroys it then.
Well, it's to talk about music,
That's
so
just
if that makes
music
it better.
adjacent.
Yeah, it's to talk about music, so that's.
So what's going to happen?
We are
You're going
having.
to keep us in suspense and not tell us, Nick.
See you next time.
We're having a local author and professor at
Yeah.
Lander
Lander,
University.
right.
Sorry, I could not find the word. I was trying to say teacher so bad, but that was not
Yeah,
doing him
that's
any
right.
justice.
Right.
Professor, he's going to come up. Dan Harrison. He wrote the book called Live at Jackson Station that published about 4 years ago, I believe now. But he is going to get up and speak about the book, and he's kind of emailed around to some guests to have kind of a little guest panel to just discuss about the awesomeness that was Jackson Station, disproving some or separating some of the fact from fiction and myth and legend, and just reliving some of the great stories and the great acts and times that came through there.
Well, I mean, it was great. I mean, and particularly a couple of years ago, 2, maybe 3 years ago, Bob Margolin was here. He
Yes,
was
ma'am.
one of the originals, and several of them came here for this.
That's
Yeah.
funny you say. I actually have for my dad's stuff the original flyer from that show at Jackson Station.
Really?
I need to frame it actually.
Yeah, you do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
preserve it for sure.
Absolutely. It's preserved, but it'd be better preserved in a frame, definitely.
Yeah. But that would be really cool. And there are some great stories about that. I've interviewed Dan on the radio here and talked about some of the things that happened out there were wild, how much the people liked the food, particularly the artists that were traveling through, because they'd get a breakfast sandwich and truck on that would be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
That was a wild place.
Wild times.
You guys were too young to go, right?
I've been in there. I was, I'd go
Oh, you're
in.
not admitting it anyways, right?
No, I never was able to.
I can remember the first time being totally terrified was my mother took me back the cow pasture about right directly behind it, and a calf charged at us. And when I was so young, I mean, I must have been 2. It's one of my first kind of memories of that time, but. I was so young that a calf looked like, a skyscraper.
Goliath.
I was terrified, but I spent a lot of time during the day there playing pool. My parents go by because Steve and Gerald, the owners, they were always fixtures at our house. So I kind of grew up with them and very close family friends with them. So I didn't spend time during the wild stuff. I spent time during the early hours. So yes, ma'am.
So are you a good pool player then?
Terrible. Terrible.
Just thought I'd ask. Do you know, I got to share this with you, do you know that South Carolina was the last state in the Union to pass a law, and it passed this year, that pinball can be played by those under 18?
Whoa.
I mean, it was not a really enforced law, but
Bring it back. Nobody under the age of 18 should be playing pinball.
What's
believe.
the genesis of that?
well,
Why?
because I mean, it's a really interesting story. Originally, pinball didn't have the flippers. You had to
Okay.
take and move it around, so they considered it a game of chance, and that was gambling. Ergo, it was illegal. So across the whole nation. Then I think
So is crossing a street.
yeah. So then in the early 1970s, California came up with, I think it was in the 60s, they came up and said it's no longer a game of chance, it's a game of skill. And so they passed a law making it okay for kids to play pinball. South Carolina held out until this year, the last state in the union.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought you guys would appreciate
Yeah.
that story.
Either the first or last to do something. So there we go.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I mean,
Nuts.
there was a time when we couldn't get tattoos of a pinball machine while getting beer on a Sunday.
Yeah, well, my husband actually
That's a hat trick.
could not play. Got caught one time for playing tennis on a Sunday afternoon in Aiken. that was under the blue laws. You could not do that. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
We are silly.
Thank goodness we have graduated.
Yes, exactly.
Lord.
But anyways, we're here with Granger Smith and Nick Massey, local focal promoters, and we're going to be talking about all the good things with music and everything. But Dan Harrison, fascinating story, and to have a book about this is so great. Only thing I hate is that Jackson Station was never able to be brought back to something, that they're just letting it just dissolve.
Well, not necessarily.
Okay, Nick, tell us the staboo.
Well, as far as I recall, the last owners were from Florida, and they were wanting to, but it's just it's in such poor conditioning. Yeah, it's just not going to be able to bring anything back in there, unfortunately. So, but that was the intention, though.
Yeah, well, it was pretty cool. All right. Well, anyway, so that's going to be what, at 12 o'clock on Saturday? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, that'll be something interesting to get started with, and
Absolutely.
I need to be talking about it here on the radio so people know to come on by there at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, so now, local focal. Who are the acts that are going to be there?
All right. So starting off on Thursday at 6 p.m., we're going to kick things off with a band from around here called Man on the Moon. And then at 8 p.m., it's our friends with our Doyle Rules. That's Freddie McClendon and the Smith Brothers.
They're having a reunion, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, this is going to be a
first
reunion for them. They may have done one here recently, but yeah, we're definitely excited for it. Friday, the 10th, 4 p.m., we'll start off with a guy from around these parts named Buckland. 5:15, open range band. 6:30, we got our friends BG and Tyler. 7:45, we have the Mez. At 9, a band, my brother-in-law's band, Winners.
Granger's also in it now, too. They're awesome.
10:15, we got Ryan Pitts and the Southern Gentlemen. And Saturday, starting off at 12, we got Jackson Station Story Time. 2:30, we have a lady from around these parts, a little transplant named Sarah Lingle. 3:45, the Bad Weather Stage Trio. 5 p.m., we have the Marvin King Trio.
Marvin King.
Marvin King? Yes,
All
yes,
right.
ma'am. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
That's a biggie.
Yep. We have some connections, some Greenwood connections that are now in Greenville who are a part of that. So we're very excited to have him travel down here and get a taste of what we put on every year. Maybe go spread the word back through Greenville and tell them what a cool spot Greenwood is. Then at 6:15, this is going to be great. This happened last year, but it's Crawfish presents a tribute to the Allman Brothers. That was just fantastic last year. It blew everybody away.
And we might even have a special guest for that one. Can't give it away, but just starts with an M, ends with Arvin King Trio.
Oh me. And then after that we have Bobby Power Band at 7:30. 8:45, the Audrey Adams Band. And then
now tell us a little bit about Audrey.
Yeah.
You were saying that this could be the last time she could really be around in Greenwood that much.
the last time she might be accessible to us, yeah, for sure. She's on the rise. She's just such a talented singer-songwriter, great guitar player, has a killer band. I think they're all schoolmates of hers up in Nashville, music. So they knock it out of the park. She's incredible.
And she's going to be leaving Greenwood, huh?
Believe so.
Yeah, I saw her for the Blooms and Beats during Festival of Flowers kickoff weekend, and I'm fairly certain she told me that she was either moving to Nashville end of July or early August, something like that. But she's definitely on the move, so need to catch her while you can, while it's free too, because it's not going to be that way much longer.
Now that brings up another point. Do you have to pay to get in there to see it, listen, or hear all this music?
All this is totally free.
Absolutely not. Yep.
Free.
Free.
You have to pay for your drinks, though.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking here, see how free it was going to be.
Got us.
We got free air conditioning and free live music.
There
Local
we go.
live music.
And lots of people. And lots of people. That's
really
the thing
good.
about it.
People people. Before I go on, 10 p.m. Pope and Bert with the fellas.
Okay.
That's the end of Saturday.
Okay.
But yeah, just before I, this is one of the best times of the year. A lot of people, myself included, I hear people say this is like our Christmas. It's like Christmas in July.
Right.
It's just part of that. You get the free AC, the free live entertainment. You get the free camaraderie. You get to see people you don't see all the time. I know for me, it's just a talking fest to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Just the excitement of seeing all these folks come out and supporting our town's musical talent.
Isn't it amazing how many musical groups we have here in
It
Greenwood?
is. That's what we've been saying for years. This is that's the main reason why we do this. We have so many.
Yeah, to show off our friends.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Our town is just, and it's. I hear more and more, doing the weekly flyers. I hear more and more names that get brought up, and I think Greenwood is starting to become a little magnet towards some Greenville people, bigger cities that are that are right outside of our vicinity. So, little steps like that have kind of made the outreach possible and happen. So yeah, it's we have a very densely talented collection of artists here in town.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's great, and it does give you a good variety of music. I mean, that's the other thing. The blues has all kinds of artists that are here in different venues, and then to have our local artists and such a variety. It's not one type of music; it's all different types.
Yeah, we even see them they'll come and see what's going on upstairs at Howard's. We've seen some of the out of state folks come up there and take a look, and heck, somebody can play.
How about Purdy
Yeah.
getting on the drums
2 years in a row
We've
now.
been fortunate enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say 2 years in a row he's come up there and just exponentially just made everything wonderful.
And he just sits there with that little smile on his face, just playing the drums like he's just so happy.
And his wife's amazing. She is the sweetest person.
Well, see that bottle of wine right there?
Yeah.
Right there on the counter?
Is that him?
That's yeah.
You want to hear a funny story? I actually had a gentleman call me a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't able to answer the phone, but he left me a voicemail, and he sang me happy birthday, and he thought I was Bernard Purdy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just was his birthday in the last couple of weeks.
I don't know how it happened, but we reached out to his booking agent, Miami Jim,
Right?
and I called Miami Jim in April, and we couldn't swing it to work out where we could actually have enough money for Bernard, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was just random how Miami Jim decided to call. I had to send him a text and let him know. It's like, that wasn't actually Bernard Purdy. You just called those. A guy named Nick in South Carolina.
Well, that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I'll definitely hang on to this voicemail for a long time.
I'll bet. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. Well, I know there's a lot that goes into it. I know you've got a lot of sponsors. And
sure.
I'm sure if somebody else was listening here this afternoon and said, could I sponsor? Could I be part of it? I don't suppose you would not allow them, would you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we would take them in. There's a lot of advertising and promotion that goes in that comes with their donations too, like being on the radio,
Right.
putting it out there on social media. But yeah, we have a really good group of, and it's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
Can I name them real quick
Please.
while we have the opportunity?
Sure,
Thank you. Yourself, of course. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Remax Action Realty, they're part of this. Bubba Harvin's our point guy on there. He's a good friend of both Granger and myself, and very appreciative. Self Regional, Tinsley Adams.
Wait a minute, self-regional. You deal with Mark Hyatt?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, is Mark going to be playing?
Yes, ma'am.
What is Mark going to be
He
playing
will be
this year?
playing organ and keyboard on the Crawfish Allman Brothers tribute. And
He's
he
fantastic.
He is.
Yeah, we just had a practice for that yesterday, and I was fortunate enough I had a spot right next to him during our practice, and he's
Isn't he only just in the last year or so just started playing organ, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Think so. Yeah, something.
I'm fairly certain he said, there's just so many guitar players in this town. I figured I'd try something different. And he just picked it up. And I was sitting there watching him yesterday. I was like, you'd think he'd been playing this for like 20 or 30 years if you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Right.
He does it all. I mean, he sounds legit.
Great.
But yeah, so Mark Hyatt was our point man, getting Self to sponsor. So thank him for that. And Leslie Lane and Oregon Station. And then, of course, Howard Corley with Howard's on Main. Jeep and Riley over at Good Times. Daniel and Stacy Phillips, Chinkapin Animal Hospital, Capri's Italian Restaurant, Jeff and Lisa Smith.
What's the connection there?
I don't know.
Those are Granger's folks, if anybody was wondering what was going on there.
Yeah.
And then Matt and Laura Baczynski, and also the Emerald Promo Group. Thank you all so very, very much.
Absolutely.
From the bottom of the hearts.
That's right. That's right. So as you go forth here, you're going to be all ready. You're going to actually. Are you going to be streaming this year or?
Austin might have a trick or two up his sleeve. Speaking of kind of the in-kind stuff, I do want to shout out, A to Z audio and lighting. That's our buddies Austin Woodard, Zach.
I believe they're professional. Their legal name is A to Z Productions.
Productions, yes, A to Z Productions.
Okay.
Yep. Great guys, stand-up dudes, young, know what they're doing, very entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Just two killer dudes right there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. and Austin's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's a big guy. And Penny really likes Austin.
Yeah.
Penny really likes Austin.
He seems to have that effect with animals. Like I had the kind of, I was like, I feel like I'm next to Dr. Doolittle one day over at his house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she just, when Austin comes, he comes here and picks up stuff and does stuff for me, and I'll say, Austin's coming, and she goes flying up to the door, and she's just waiting for Austin.
Oh.
That's right. See, she's going, is Austin coming now?
Dogs know. Dogs know.
Dogs
That's
always
right,
know the
that's
good
right.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, now you were on TV recently.
We were, yes, ma'am.
What was that about?
We were on Access Carolina, Fox. They reached out randomly. They heard about Local Focal. We actually, it's Sheila Merrick, but they reached out to us, wanted to talk about it, have us perform a song, and just a very nerve-wracking experience all around to be on live TV like that.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely. That was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I guess
seeing an active newsroom.
Right.
All the cubicles, everybody's working, and you see all the behind-the-scenes folks, and it's pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, what else have we got to talk about here this afternoon?
Lordy. You want to do it again? Talk about it all again?
What now? You said Marvin King's coming.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember seeing Marvin King back during COVID, right?
Uh-huh.
And
At the theater?
at the theater,
Yes,
right?
I was there.
And then his son came in.
Mm-hmm.
What's his son's name?
Marcus.
Marcus came in, and it was just the greatest thing to
Yeah.
see him enjoying seeing what his son was doing.
Yeah.
It was.
Marcus, I think the feeling is mutual. Marcus
Right.
loves to see what his dad's doing too.
Right.
And he just watching him play. You can watch Marcus off to the side just watching. It's pretty cool. I think that feeling goes, it's a two-way street for those two folks.
That's really nice. That's really nice. But that was a special time when we were doing that because of COVID.
Yeah.
So as we move forward here, you've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
All day Saturday. If you're just tuning in, you may want to be there around 12 o'clock because you're going to tell us again what's going to be happening at 12 on Saturday.
Jackson Station story time with Professor and author Daniel Harrison.
You call it story time. It's like there's going to be a bunch of kids sitting around. Tell us a story.
Well, it's adult.
I might be doing that. Yeah. Crisscross applesauce.
There you go. And you said you're going to have a panel there too?
Yes. Yeah, he's reached out to quite a few folks just to let them know what's going on.
It's going to be such a cool, unique experience. That one is.
That's great. Well, I'm going to try to get over there for that because I'd like to see that. I think the history of what goes on in Greenwood is pretty darn cool. So Odell's Rules is going to be here, so Freddie's going to be performing then with them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I mean, as I mentioned it with Audrey. There's not a lot of opportunities to get to see Freddie for free either.
Yeah,
so
that is
people
true.
need to take advantage of that.
Now, when is that happening?
They'll kick off promptly at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday. Okay. So, and you can come back as many times as you want.
Come on
and
in.
leave.
Come stay, leave, do whatever. Come back. That's the most important part. But yeah. Just
and
there's
it's
an
cool
open door policy.
because you can go and then you can go out and get something to eat if you want, and
Absolutely.
then come back and
Yeah.
just.
They got some really good spots historically right outside of Howard. So we always get to get our fill of really good food while we're hanging out, making sure everything's going well. Go grab something, get some AC. It's a really good spot to be just overall.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, it's right in the thick of things. That's for
right.
sure.
It's right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. Do we have anything else we need to make sure the folks know? Let's go through who the bands are and maybe point out any of the ones that people might say to themselves, gosh, if I don't see them now, who knows when I'll get to see them.
All
How
of
about
them.
that?
So Thursday, things kick off at 6 p.m. with Man on the Moon, then followed by O'Doyle Rules at 8 p.m. And Friday, starting at 4 p.m., we have Buckland. And at 5:15, Open Range Band. 6:30 with BG and Tyler. 7:45 with the Mez. And these last three, especially the Mez and Winners, they hardly ever play around town. So it's like you're getting maybe opportunity to see. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 times a year they play, if that.
Yeah, very special.
So yeah, the Mez and the Winners are always the Winners was their first year last year, but it seems like they quickly became like the favorite of the evening, along with the Mez. They always do something kind of cool to make their set different
sets,
out. Yeah. But so sorry, it's 7:45. We have the Mez on Friday evening, and then 9 p.m. Winners, and then to round out the evening at 10:15, it's Ryan Pitts on the Southern Gentleman. Then Saturday kicking off at 12, like we were talking about, is Jackson Station Story Time with Daniel Harrison. Then at 2:30, it's Sarah Lingle. 3:45, Bad Weather States Trio. 5 p.m., Marvin King Trio. 6:15, Crawfish presents a tribute to the Allman Brothers. 7:30, Bobby Power Band. 8:45, Audrey Adams Band. And the finale, just like we do every year, Pope and Bert and with the fellas.
That's great. That's great.
10 p.m. That's always like the biggest party we have every year too.
I don't know if you saw last year where Stephen Galloway was in the crowd dancing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did.
It's the best place to be at that time because I think all of everything else is wrapped up at that time. So it's just a
big party.
Not interfering with anybody else. Just come have a good time.
It's kind of hard to believe that happens that way.
Yeah.
I mean, really. So it is a great advantage to end up upstairs at Howard's. And, in fact, I was sitting back there last year when they were playing, and I was recording, and I was sitting right behind Austin, and I was like this. I could hardly move because there were so many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a quote from The Office, and it's how do you know? I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days when you're actually in them, or whatever.
Yeah.
I leave every year when everybody's gone on Saturday. I always have that kind of moment, just kind of recollecting on the last 3 days, 72 hours. I have one of those, kind of introspective, nostalgic check moments. So it's just a really. I think this is a very important event to Greenwood, and I think that
it is important.
Yeah, I think that we need this. These musicians need this, and we're just here to do it.
Well, and when you think about, one of the things I want to, like Audrey Adams and Freddie, and this has been the incubation place of them being able to go out into the world.
Absolutely.
So this is where young artists, old artists, all artists need support
Yeah.
to be able to get their craft honed. And
We would love to see some, some high school kids, middle school kids coming through. You don't have to be an adult to come up there. It's open to any age. If anything can get, under their skin, under like a middle school or a high school person they see somebody and that, really gets them going into maybe possibly looking at music and, just anything that we can, help with that. That's just always.
Like who would believe that Benji Smith is teaching drum lessons?
Exactly. Yeah, look at him.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
So
it is an opportunity to really see what Greenwood has to offer, and it is great that we have all these artists coming from outside, but there's a good mix of everything going on. So make it part of what you're. At least go up there and check it out for a little while. Now, do you have some listing where people can find who's singing when, or is it?
Yes, we do. We've posted it all over social media, and I'm gonna find our website real quick to make sure I have the right name. I think it's local-focal 864 or local_focal. But I wanted to make sure I had the right one. But yeah, we've posted everything. The last few weeks, definitely. Yes, ma'am.
So if you
local-focal.com.
Okay.
Sorry.
So if you question what is going on and you want to make sure you see a band at a certain time, you can look that up and
Correct.
check it out.
Check out the musician time slots. Check out our awesome sponsor list. Check everything out. Pictures from last year, all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Well, it has been great to have you come by here, and I think it's going to be another great year. It's a great melding of all music in this area. Blues, local, all different types of music all together right here in Greenwood, and that's what makes it so great. So I commend you guys for doing this. Now, Granger, you also every week, well, sort of, every week, he puts out a list of where all the local bands are playing, right?
Correct. Yep, that's right. Yeah, Local Focal is not just an event. It's it's an idea, an ideal. It's a way of platforming these musicians. So part of that to keep everybody's interest all year is to put out the weekly flyer of music that's happening in town, and not only just in town, but anybody from this town that's venturing off and playing in Greenville or playing out of state somewhere. We want to promote that as well, just to show hey, I'm in Greenwood. I may not be able to make it to somewhere in Georgia on Thursday, but it's pretty cool that I can see that somebody from this town is in Georgia and being able to do that and is talented enough and able enough to do it. So I just any type of promotion we can give our town's talent, that's what we're here for. And part of that's that weekly flyer.
Yeah, that's right. And most times he even includes me on the list, and I put it on the radio.
Yeah, life is busy.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, anyways, I want to say thank you guys for coming out this afternoon.
Thanks
for having us.
As always, thank you.
This is going to be part of what's coming up the end of this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get barbecue, listen to some blues, and go upstairs and listen to Local Focal and see what this town has to offer. I think that's the most important message.
Absolutely.
See what this town has to offer. So, without further ado, let's see. Here we are. Penny, you want to be in the screen here for a second? Penny says, "This has not been very interesting to me." Okay, I'm sorry, Penny. Do you have a question for Nick or Granger? I understand Granger has cats. I'm not impressed.
They feel the same way, so it's okay.
Okay, Penny, shall we say goodbye? I'm ready to have my dinner.
Nick's got one too now.
You got cats too, Nick?
Yes, ma'am.
No dogs?
No dogs.
No dog in that fight.
All right. All right. Well, Penny and I and Nick and Granger are going to say adieu. Thanks so much for coming out, guys.
Thank you, as always.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Huzzah. Huzzah. That's the word, I think. Huzzah. Huzzah. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Take it away.